Interesting to me that it reminds me of the research, the broader research that I do on acculturation and psychopathology. So more specifically, I look at how as we assimilate or acculturate Western European values, it leads to increases in psychopathology not traditionally found in specifically the African American community, like suicide and eating disorder behavior, body dissatisfaction. Um, I also think this idea of language is coming up again. It was in the first panel as well. And we're talking about liberal arts and liberating people. And how do we do that with the English language? Because it's limiting. So this idea of Black studies, that is not a term that indigenous African people use. This is a term that was placed upon us that we use. There are no Black people, no white people, or yellow or red people. So even the language has to be looked at and the terms. So for example, in African Black psychology, we don't use the term mentor because it has a context to it historically. If you study Greco-Roman culture, we use the term jegna, which broadens this idea of what a mentor is, and it doesn't have that negative connotation if you understand the history behind that term. And so it's like, how do you use the master's tools to deconstruct the master's house? Can you do that? A person like me who only speaks English, who's highly acculturated, I can only get but so free. But again, I think this is very interesting. Yes, I did see those similar things in Ghana. So acculturation and psychopathology leads to this idea of, let's say, self-hate, right? So it leads to the skin bleaching, the hair perming, the devaluation of one's ethnic identity and cultural history. And the protective factor for that is something that is called African self-fortification, developed by Kobe Cambone out of Florida A&M University. And I think you all are touching on that when you talk about valuing relationships and building community across national borders, languages, institutions, and organization, right? Centering language learning, cultural study, community-based internships in Ghana. I think you are telling the people how to fortify yourself in your ethnicity and your identity, which has psychological benefits for well-being. So thank you.
So we have the PowerPoint. Well, I'll just talk and sort of introduce what we're doing while you guys get set up.